Minister, housing is a basic human need. Without housing, most aspects of people's lives break down. Physical and mental health starts to deteriorate. A family's ability to provide a healthy nutrition to their children falls apart. And education and work life are practically impossible without a home. And Ireland is suffering from a prolonged national housing disaster. We have up to 1 million people currently in housing crisis in this state, either through mortgage distress, homelessness, or spending years in housing waiting lists, or grossly unfair prices with regards to rents and mortgages. And this crisis has been going on so long that many within society, especially in the political class and some in the media class, have become desensitised to this particular crisis. Now, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil would consider themselves parties of the free market. But in truth, both parties are parties of market distortion. Much of the dysfunction that's in the housing market has come directly from actions taken by Fine Gael themselves and supported by Fianna Fáil. At the bottom of the housing slump, Fine Gael rolled out the red carpet to international residential investors and vulture funds in their effort to put a floor under house prices and to improve the balance sheets of Irish banks. Now, they achieved this through providing generous taxation policies and light touch regulation. And the result is that international investors piled into the market, made massive profits, pushed prices for rents and mortgages through the roof, and literally push first-time buyers out of the market. And we see that in the majority purchase of homes in a Kildare housing estate just in the last week. What I believe is happening here, Minister, and it's a shocking thing given Fianna Fáil's history, but Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil are now creating a tenant class that hasn't been seen since the likes of the Irish landlord system. We have a form of feudalism reoccurring in Irish society at this time. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael are pitting REITs with massive competitive advantages against young couples and family on a daily basis in Goliath and David battles. And there can only be one winner in those situations, Minister. The solution of this is not rocket science. If international investors are hoovering up housing units due to the massive competitive advantages that they have, even up the odds, Minister, reduce the advantages that they have and increase the buyer power of young families. It's very simple. If they have enormous power within the market, you can pull the levers, the economic levers, Minister, to reduce that power in the market and make sure that young families have access to the purchase of homes and to lower rents. Builders will also tell you that with regards to financing, it's a major difficulty. If they get financing from an international investor, it gives them the confidence to proceed with a project. However, if a young family comes to look at a house, it can take easily 6 months from that viewing until the family's finance is put in place, if that family can actually get the finance at all. On the supply side, building costs are skyrocketing. I spoke to a builder today who showed me a list of about 25 key items in the building of a house, all of them up, some of them up in double-digit percentages at the moment. And the supply of land is still being controlled by vast tracts of land being sat upon by speculators hoping to harvest increased prices in the future. And all of this is adding to the fact that homes and rents are being pushed beyond the reach of family. On the demand side, Minister, REITs get away without paying proper taxes at all. They don't pay proper capital gains tax, they're not paying proper stamp duty, and they're paying tiny corporation tax. They achieve interest rates at levels on the international market that are far lower than the interest rates that young families have to deal with. They're being actually turbo boosted by these factors in their battle with young families. Aintree would level the playing field between REITs and families. We would strip the REITs' advantages from them. We would ensure that REITs are no longer sheltered from proper taxation. We would build a public banking system to ensure that that other distorted market, the banking market, is reformed as well, so the families can get access to decent mortgages at fair interest rates. We would increase the supply of land by taxing vacant land to the level that it costs to hold land. And we would fund the returning of thousands of empty houses back into the market right around the country and tax those who refuse to bring those homes back into the market, we would increase the level of CPOs that happen with regards to empty and derelict house. And we would increase the training of apprenticeships to increase the pool of skilled workers. I'm asking you, Minister, to make sure that you implement these reforms now so that young families have a chance to purchase their own home.